Hello and welcome to another episode of Earth911 Sustainability in Your Ear. I'm Mitch Ratcliffe, your host. Hey, we've got another innovator interview today, and it's with Lauren-Gregor, who founded Rent-a-Romper, which is a company that rents collections of clothing for newborns through toddlers so that you can use them for a while, return them when the child outgrows it, and get the next set. Lauren, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, hey, thank you for starting Rent-a-Romper. I know that my kids are a little old for this, but one of them is already starting to think about her children, and this is a great fit. First, tell us about Rent-a-Romper. What is the program like? Is it like Rent-the-Runway or StitchFix for adult clothing?
It is similar to those models. Rent-the-Runway has a membership model where you can have a certain number of clothing and swap your clothing in and out. And that's sort of what we do as well. So we rent capsule wardrobes of either 7 or 15 items in your child's size. And it's up to you really when you want to switch them out. And you can switch the entire capsule or just some items as your children are growing.
General question is, how are clothing for newborns and toddlers different from adult clothing? Do they need different kinds of cleaning, any other processing that ensures that they're safe?
No, I think we really focus on your everyday sleep and play wear. So we don't have, at the moment, like special occasion dresses or things that need extra care. All of our clothing is really everyday wear, and it can just be washed, alongside your regular laundry. And when we receive clothing back, we take care to make sure that we are, washing and cleaning and sanitizing all of the items before they go to a new family. And we do so we just want to make sure we have sensitive detergents and, fragrance-free and free of any other additives.
So what inspired you to embrace the idea of reuse, both as a mother and as a business person? What made it important?
Yeah, so I, never thought I was going to be founding this business, but I have 2 boys. They're just 2 years apart right now, and they're a little older now. But when they were growing, I was passing all the clothes down for my next son. But, when I would open that box, I would see that I was always missing something, whether that was a pair of pants. I don't have any pants in this box. So I would still have to go out to the stores, shop, find things, or, try to find places where I could fill in the gaps. And to me, that was really frustrating, and especially when they're growing so quickly that, in the next month I would turn around and they would need the next size again.
Right.
So, I've always been somebody that cares about the environment, and I think in the last few years have been trying to set an example for my own children of taking action to, we can't just complain about the effects we think we're having on the planet. We should do something about it. So that's really what inspired me to do something about it and found this company. And we're really focused first on extending the life of clothing, and particularly in children when they are growing so fast. Some of these items, only sit with one child for a few weeks or months. And there's plenty of life left in those clothes to go on to another family.
Do you have a sort of a ballpark figure for how many times an item can be used by different families?
Yeah, I think it's something we're testing out right now because, this hasn't really been done before in terms of young children. But we're already seeing in our first, 7-8 months that there's pieces of clothing in our inventory that have now gone on to their 4th family.
Wow.
So we're using them as long as we possibly can. And, it depends also on brands. I think some brands last longer. They're maybe higher quality in how they're made, and some of those last longer than others. But we're learning a lot about that, as we go through with our customers today.
Now, before we get into the program a little bit more, I'd like to go back to what you said a moment ago, which is you never expected to start a company. And you have a great background story. You were on the U.S. national soccer team. How did that and all the other things that you've been doing in your life prior to this prepare you to become an entrepreneur?
It's so funny. You must have read my blog post about how I became an entrepreneur. my dream was to be on the U.S. national soccer team, but that did not ever come to fruition.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread it.
No, I grew up playing soccer and volleyball, both of them, and I ended up playing volleyball in college. But always my dream had been to be on the U.S. national team. But that's okay.
Well, you are a soccer coach now,
I'm a soccer coach, yes. So I coach both of my boys' teams, which has been really fun. But I do think, like, a few things. I mean, I have had a long career in operations and all areas of business. So I think I know enough about many areas of business to get this off the ground and really get it going. But I do think, and in my whole career, having been an athlete, having played volleyball in college, having had that mentality, I've always been somebody that relies heavily on a team. Like, I know I cannot do this by myself.
Right.
And so even though I'm, a solo founder going out, starting this business on my own, I've really relied on former teammates, friends, family, anybody that's willing to talk to about how to make this business successful.
Teamwork is so important, and a lot of people don't give credit for how hard it is to start to let go of some of the responsibilities of starting parts of the company. And that's a really interesting point to call out. Do you think that women entrepreneurs are more prepared to put those teams together?
I think women, and in particular, I'm part of many mom entrepreneur groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the way that society is today, and where many of us have had to rely on others to help us, whether that's raising our kids, balancing career and home, and especially in COVID, where we're doing more than our share, with homeschooling kids at the same time. I think women are really prepared to, in a different kind of way, rely on others and call on others for support, and to really build a team around them for what they care about. So I think it's been exciting to witness that and to see that in other, friends I know that are starting their own things.
And that seems to me, and I'd love to hear your thought on this, to reflect an approach to building a business and a system that is more fitted to some of these niche opportunities, like providing clothing for reuse for children through the early years of their lives. These are businesses that are not immediately obvious to somebody who thinks in terms of billion-dollar revenues being the only thing that's worth shooting for. On the other hand, you have the opportunity to grow something massive, but it will start from a grassroots foundation. And again, that does seem like a perspective that women who are much more multitasking oriented because of all their responsibilities are prepared for than a lot of male entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. And I think from my own perspective, I've always been in like public sector type of work. And while I do think this is a massive opportunity and we could really change the way people think about consuming clothing, at the earliest stages of life, I'm really in this for supporting parents in those really early years when things are difficult. You have a lot going on. So to make a service that's really convenient for them, that really makes them feel special, but also is taking care of our planet. And we're having an impact on consumerism, an impact on the fashion industry. And so I think those to me are my end goal. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'd love to make, money to support my family and all of those things, but that's just the nature of life, I guess. But I think our end goal really is about the customer, making their life easier and making sure we're impacting our planet for our kids.
Well, let's talk about the two packages of the capsules that you currently offer. There's Just the Essentials, which is 7 items, and there's the Complete Capsule, which is 15. Mm-hmm. What are in the capsules? Is that pre-configured, or is that something that people select and put together?
Yeah, so we all of our capsules are curated specific to our customers. Okay. We do carry many different brands. So our customers do select, this is the colors I like, or I really need extra pairs of pajamas this month. So there is some curation that we do, and we pack everything with the intention is that it's everything you need. So there's pajamas, onesies, shorts, pants, depending on the weather. It will really cover all of your bases. And then we send it out, and it's up to the customers really to keep it or return it when they need.
Do you find that people get more than one capsule and put them together? Because I remember when my kids were young, it seemed like a onesie lasted about 45 minutes before it needed to be replaced.
Yes, I think right now we're seeing most of our customers order the Complete Capsule, which comes with 15 items. Mm-hmm. And that's an interesting question. We're doing something soon where we'll be able to add on. So let's say you order your 15 and you say, throw 5 extra onesies in there with the pack for me. Right. Where we'll be able to do that. But we do have about 30% of our customers that get the essentials. And I think that's a good thing to supplement. Like if you do have hand-me-downs already, or you have, family that's bought clothing for you, but you need, open the box and realize there's no pants.
Right.
You can call on us to fill that gap.
So how does a parent upgrade their current capsule? Do you have to send everything back at once, or can you send it back a few at a time or one at a time? It's
really flexible, and it's up to our customers. So they can swap their items whenever they want. And we do it, you don't have to send the whole thing back. You can send several items at a time or one at a time. Because we know every brand is different. Every child grows differently. So, I remember my youngest son was wearing size 4 on the top and size 2 on the bottom. Mm-hmm. So kids grow at different paces, and that's fine. And we understand that as a company.
And different parts of kids grow at different paces too. So what happens if somebody damages them, or they want to keep them? Because, for instance, we have pictures of our kids in clothing that I know we still have in a box because it's in the picture. Could I keep something? And how does that work if I wanted to do that? Yeah.
So for keeping, we definitely understand that. I have the same thing, some items that have been really special that we just hold on to. Mm-hmm. And we will allow our customers, if they let us know that there's an item they really care about and they want to keep on, and they can pay for that item and keep it. And then in terms of the clothing, I'm a mom and I have 2 boys that are very rowdy. Mm-hmm. I know that clothes get messy. Kids are messy. There's accidents that happen. So we don't charge our customers. We know that happens, and we want them to live in the clothing, and not worry all the time about it. So unless, something drastic happens and their entire capsule comes back ruined, which has never happened, we just want them to live in their clothes.
You built reality into your pricing, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Now, you also offer branded clothing. Does that change the price of the capsule if I go for a branded set of clothing?
No, we have we accept clothing donations. So because we do that as part of our way of sourcing our inventory, we carry 50 different brands. And we have several wholesale partnerships that are, our primary source of getting our clothing. But our customers, in addition to saying these are the style preferences I like, they can tell us these are the brands that I also prefer. It depends on our inventory. If we can meet that demand, we don't charge anything differently. We will try to match as much as we can for them, depending on what we have in stock.
Now, you mentioned a couple of ideas you're already working on. What do you imagine Rent-a-Romper will be doing, say, in 2 years or 5 years? Where are you headed?
Yeah, so we have a few ideas that we're planning to launch in really the next 6 months. One of them is around seasonal or one-time rentals. So imagine you're, where I am, I live in California, but you're going to visit your in-laws for the holidays and they're in Michigan, and you don't want to buy your entire winter wardrobe for your kids. Mm-hmm. You could rent that for us for a month and, return it after you get back. So we're adding in those types of offerings where, instead of buying, and in a few years' time, I really foresee us being a go-to for new parents and for parents of older kids as well. I'm not going to go out to the store and spend $200 on an entire winter wardrobe I'm going to spend $30 and return it after the next month.
Well, and that'll not only make a difference financially, but it will help the planet, because as you mentioned, if we can get 5 uses or 10 uses of something out of an item before it's actually recycled, you're cutting the carbon footprint of that item by more than 90%, because it's been reused so many times. Now, listeners can check you out at rent-a-romper.com, but how can they do things like gift a capsule to a new mom?
Yes, you can gift a capsule, and we also have gift cards. So if you want to, give a gift card of a specific value and let your friend or family member then select for themselves, we have that on our website as well.
You also mentioned donations. What if folks wanted to donate clothing in order to help you out?
Yeah, that's amazing. We're trying really hard to keep everything circular and divert from landfill. So we accept clothing donations of any children's clothing. And you can go onto our website, we fill out a form, and we will send you a shipping label for your packages. So we'll pay for shipping to us. And what we do with that clothing is we try to, if it's in great condition, we'll add it to our inventory. If we can extend the life of it, we will definitely do that. And we have partners that we're trying to work with right now to then upcycle any textiles that, are ready to be retired. So that's an amazing program that we're starting, and anybody that donates will get credit that you can gift, or you can use your.
Lovely. So you're helping them out too. That's great to hear. Now, folks, you can check Rent-a-Romper out at rent-a-romper.com. And Lauren's story is there as well, even though I misread part of it. But it's a fascinating story about how she came to feel that if she didn't do it, no one was going to do it, and do it right. And Lauren, you've nailed a lot of the right ideas. It's been great to talk with you. The best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, Mitch. It's great to talk to you.
Well, please come back and tell us a little more about how things evolve in the future. Check it out, folks, rent-a-romper.com. That was Lauren Gregor, who's the founder of the company. And we encourage you to take the time to reduce your footprint by sharing your baby's clothing through the company as well. We'll be back with another innovator interview soon. I'm Mitch Ratcliffe, and this is Earth 911's Sustainability in Your Ear. Take care, everyone.